The basic values shared by Islam and Buddhism is about promoting the good and forbidding the evil. The Quran teaches the Muslims that they should always engage in promoting the good and forbidding the evil, because the evil comes from the human beings. It does not come from God. And evil is done by human beings, and that leads to the suffering of human beings. And this is, if we both engage in competing, the Quran says, religious diversity is natural. Religious differences are natural, but we should compete with each other to do good. And I think that is the very good teaching of the Quran, that we, both the Muslims and Buddhists, engage in promoting the good and doing the good instead of promoting evil. Let me give you one example from the life of Prophet Muhammad. One day he was sitting with his grandchildren and he was kissing them, and a person passed by and said, "Why do you kiss your grandchildren?" And I have 10 children and I never kiss any of them. So Muhammad said, if you don't give love, you don't get love. That is, I think, how Muhammad taught us to love each other and to love people of other religions. In fact, there's an incident in Muhammad's life himself, that one day he was sitting by the road, and a funeral was passing by, and he stood up in respect for the funeral, and one of his companions told him, "But don't you know that is the funeral of a Jewish person?" And Muhammad said, "Was he not a human being?" So that is kind of teaching we have from Muhammad, that we should love humanity, and all human beings are equal, irrespective of their different races, color of races. You may have noticed Muslims come from different colors of races, and we have this, we believe in equality of human being. Equality of human being means we don't discriminate on the basis of color of skin. And this is which is very important teaching in Islam. So, and we should learn to love the Buddhists too, because there's a fear on both the sides. I say ignorance on both the sides. So basically today there's a clash of ignorance between Muslims and Buddhists, and ignorance is criticized both by the Buddha and Muhammad, that ignorance leads to evil, and evil leads to violence.